So, what were you thinking? What was making you want to do this again?
Do you know how many times in my life people have said to me, "What were you thinking?"
What were you thinking?
What were you
No, I mean,
thinking?
like, what was like,
I was just felt ready to reconnect with my guides and deceased relatives again. This last year has been such a whirlwind. Um, it's like my emotions are really amped up. I've told you that, I just have these little staccato outbursts of anger that just pass in seconds, and I can laugh about them. But not only hasn't it let up, Christy, but it's intensified. It's gotten more so. And I do believe it's all good. I
Mhm.
believe it's just a kind of release, and I'm just going to watch it happen.
Yeah,
But it is something.
it's
So I thought I
intense.
would just touch base and see, get another reaction other than
Okay.
questions.
All right. Well, that's okay. I like that. That's cool. All right. I can sense the family crowd, the transition loved ones. They're a bit more distant. So let's see if that I can get that to move in a little bit. Okay, interesting. Um, it seems like today it's a lot of it's all, there's no male energy at all. It's all the females in your line. Okay. Yeah. Um, all right. So they it's funny because I recognize it. It's so great, right? I mean, I recognize the energy and I know their names and I listened to the thing again, again this morning. So that was really cool. So this is something that they do a lot. If, well, are you ever attempting to contact, to speak to them? Do you ever just casually try to speak to them?
I don't.
Okay.
Um, Maybe I should.
Yes. So, one thing that they're doing, and this goes for all of them, the males and the females. Letitia, I love that name.
My grandmother Hayes.
Yeah, you got Catherine. Mary's much stronger. That energy is much stronger than it was. But as a collective, they're not really like showing up speaking to me individually, but as a collective, it's a kind of a block request that you can hear them, you can communicate with them. Um, they're going to talk about that through this as we go along, but there seems to be like a plan for this interaction today. So they are going to talk about it to sort of help you trust what you hear when you speak to them, because they will initially sound like your own thought, um, constantly speaking to you. Um, the laughter is really great. I mean, the sense of humor that they appreciate from you and with what you do and what's going on, and that was like that in that first time they showed up. Um, this is really special. It's something that they really love. So they're going to speak a little bit, and you can also ask questions too during this process, which you don't normally do. So they're kind of encouraging that. There are things that they'll answer, things that they won't, but using me as a crutch to hear them is what they don't, that's why they're distant, kind of speaking as a collective. Because at first, okay, I see. At first, when you reach out, you can reach out to them as a collective. You can just say, Thomas, Robert, George, you can do that. And then wait and let the answer come. But they're going to walk you through a little bit as we go through here. There's some things they're going to be talked about that perhaps are going to help you. It's like this word trust. So trust is that inner trust, inner faith of yourself and what you're getting. Okay. You following me? So
Yes, I am.
At any time here, that's really clear. Stop and ask a question. Right? If there's anything you want to know, they will answer. So, but this is too about you developing your own communication. That seems to be something that today might be a little bit about. Okay. You do have a spirit guide already showing up. Scribble again. Okay, male was definitely human. Got symbols at first. I'll just describe what I can see. One is looks like a pencil drawing, but it's good, of the tree of life in a real tree form. You remember the family tree at the house in Beauvais that was on the wall? Okay, yes. So this has that look, but it's just black and white pencil drawing. Okay. All right. There seems to be some figures in the trees, but I don't know what they are. Maybe seems like it could be some people drawn in the tree. Okay. It's a male. I don't have a name yet, so just hang on here. I'm just getting some symbols at first. Okay. Then another symbol seems to be like imagine a six-pointed star, like the Star of David, sort of, but in the middle of it, it's a circle. There's something in it. I can't get it. So it looks like a sun with 6 points that would be, triangular points around it. And it seems like it's inside a box too. And there's a lot of symbols in this thing. And this is all from your spirit guide. Okay, you share a name. Daniel. Okay, all right. It's a middle name. His middle name, Daniel. Same as yours. Okay.
A guide or a relative?
It's a guide. This is one of your spirit guides. Okay. Johhann? Huh. Okay, that seems to be like that's the first name. Middle name is Daniel. Johann Daniel. Like 1500, mid 1500s to 16 something. Okay. Johann Daniel. These symbols are kind of important too. Miles. Miles. I'm not getting the last name right. It's an M. Johann Daniel M. Seems like Miles, but I can't make it out totally. All right, we'll go to that. Definitely was human, is a guide. Don't know that it's a relative or an ancestor of yours, but definitely a guide. Okay. And he's got like a word for you, and it's what is this word? Sharo, Sharro. Do you know that word?
Say it again, Christy.
Sharo, Sharro.
Not offhand.
Okay. It seems to be what he's showing me. So what should I call him? Johann? Okay, Johann. First name Johann. The last name is an M. It seems like it's Miles, but it's not disappearing, so I'm not getting it right. The last name. But anyway, this word is Charo. It's what he's showing me is it's to rise up. Something about it's like a pearl. It's alchemy, transformation. Okay. Okay. Huh. All right. This is very cool, but just hang on. So, yeah, that's what this is about. It's like this, so something that's sort of negative and irritating, but then with transformation or alchemy becomes a pearl. Okay. Do you understand what he's saying? That's what this word means. And he's got this word for you. It's pretty okay. So he's going to keep going here. So what are you saying? Okay, your path, your growth, it's changing your mind, your body, and your soul. And it is very real. Okay. This guy's kind of cool. This is a very groovy energy. You are fulfilling a destiny, your sort of spiritual talents are attracting new energy. And as the body changes, it changes as light enters. So it's this alchemy, catalyzed transformation. So the appearance of the body can change, how the body feels, and there's a change in how you react, respond, and create. This is part of this anger, Tourette's thing you have, where you're right, that thing that you're asking about. As abilities become like grounded in your body, and you channel like healing energy or light language, it's like spirit becomes a living reality in the body. And there are things that happen in this, just like the irritating little pearl, irritating thing becomes a pearl. This is what's happening. And it is a very real thing, and it's very physical. And one of the ways that your body and your just in general are dealing with it are these outbursts. It builds up and it's just an outburst and it's over and you laugh. Don't concern yourself with whether or not it dissipates. It's not troublesome. It's this thing that's happening, this alchemy, this sharo, this word that he's giving me. It's an empowering gift. It's love, but symptoms of it can be very challenging. So some people have headaches, flu symptoms, inexplicable fatigue that lasts for days on end, and then will just go away with a rush of energy. So in your case, some of these other things, can go along, can be there, right? But one thing that you're truly noticing is this energetic outburst. Now, he's going to give you some things to help you transmute that energy, but this is part of why grounding has been such a thing for you, because this buildup for you, it comes out that way.
This is my little tree that I grate every day. It's just an amazing presence. As you get in closer, you see the lines, this green, different shades of green. It's just an alive presence. My friend Steve and I were.
And if it got much bigger, it could be like super disruptive, right, in your life. And that's not the, that's not what you want, right? That's not the intent. Fine, but that's why. So, you ever experience anything in your ears, like ringing in your ears or sensitivity? Okay, he's telling me that. Okay, so that is also part of this, like ringing in the ears, some sensitivity to light, sound, flushing like hot flashes, and that aggression, that right, unintentionally harsh reaction to something. It's what seems imbalanced reaction to something, right? It's all part of it. So, so what he's saying is, okay, take, in reference to this thing and these little symptoms, take particular care of your body. So it is regular rest and perhaps some additional sleep would be advised here. Also, in addition to that, would be some slightly more intense physical exercise too, both. So now not just grounding, but, is like rowing or, just something where you just really get that energy out. You need to move it. So it's gotta, if you get some extra sleep, allow yourself to take extra nap or sleep a little bit longer, try to do that. But then also really exert yourself when, on occasion. So really do some more intense physical exercise. And so he's saying, like, can build up to that. But, like if it's normally a walk, then pick up that pace, right? Move, right? Box, whatever, do some things that would get that out. Okay. Because some of this makes you feel a little bit like mentally congested. And okay, yeah, that's what he's saying, mentally congested. So also a little bit of switch game. So if you are normally spending a lot of time meditating, then cut back, or vice versa. If you normally meditate in the morning, switch that up, meditate in the afternoon. Do some switch up. um, cooling energy. So not necessarily cold, but run your hands under cool water or a fan, air conditioner, like damp hands, and then put your cool hands on chest, the back of your neck, back of your head, your ears, and your forehead. Cooling energy periodically through the day, even though it's wintertime, right? But doing this for yourself is going to bring that energy down. It's just an excess of energy. Wow. That's
Yeah. And it's amazing to me because within the last 6 months, I've come to the realization, I've been describing to you and to other friends that I have these little outbursts of anger, but I've come to realize it's more of an outburst of irritation where I'm just get irritated. I drop something and I it's just such an intense irritation. It just passes quickly. But
right.
it's not, it's more that than anger. So it's so interesting that he is saying it's irritation.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what he's saying. It's irritation. That's great. God, this stuff is good.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you also have your partner in crime, Layla,
Yes.
is also here. The spirit guides are sort of coming in a little bit quick. So, but it's not hard for me because I recognize their energy. So you've also got Voltaire back as well. Damn, bushy eyebrows. Jeez Louise, he's got some bushy eyebrows. Okay. And what they're talking about, and this is some of what they were saying before too, about your path as you moved along here. It's like you're in training, but this some of this energy that you're feeling and this irritation is part of that growth edge too. So Voltaire is bringing that back for this life path stuff. So yeah, it's that edge where this energy, your body's changing, all these things are changing with the light moving into your body. Like physically, I mean, have you seen the bump on my hand? I told you this was it. So it actually really does change. What they're saying is this, this, some of the struggle and some of that irritation is that growth edge of where letting go is competing with holding on. Right. So, and I believe that was something similar that he said to you before, but now it's getting really, really, really direct. Okay. All right. Do you understand that? I think I do. I'm going to keep going because you've got him and Layla sort of moving here quickly. So, okay, Layla, there we go. Layla's whoop. It's hard to go. Okay, everybody. Some of what is going on, the irritation and the reason that it's concerning for you is that you're thinking that it's perhaps an indication that in some way you're failing a little bit or that something's wrong, right? Something's off. You're not, a sign that you're not operating at high enough frequency, right? Is what she's sort of saying. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it would pass more quickly when I was aware that I was going through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is a good thing. I'll just let it pass through me. But it's been 5 years now.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's building in intensity. So it's like, ooh, I thought it would pass through
and be done. Right. And so what she's saying is, remember that most spiritual masters that you've learned about, read about, anything you know about them, they have gone through periods of, she's saying, great suffering. They've experienced this gamut of things. This is like, it is that growth edge. It's growing pains. It's a lot of that feminine energy, that light that sort of creates. She's showing it to me. I'm trying to describe what she's showing me. So like breaking through what has become too small for you. And there is great joy in the eventual freedom, right, of this, but breaking through is painful at times. And this is one way that is a bit painful and concerning, but it has nothing to do with you not operating. She's very clear with that phrase, that you're not operating at a high enough frequency, or that it's an indication that you are failing in some way. There's something you're missing, something you're not doing. That's not it. Okay. So don't let that concern you. It's not that. When you feel that, that coming on, and you're able to let it go and laugh, this is exactly what you need to do. And then these other things that they've been giving you, and will give you more. It's ways to really let this light in and go through the changes that you have to go through. And that's why the grounding has been that's incredible. I didn't, they never said that before. So this is really interesting. Oh. Okay. Interesting.
It's so interesting because in some ways I'm happier than I've ever been, and more enthusiastic, and looking forward to life more than I ever have. But the intense irritation is alongside it. It's kind of really a back and forth, like you need to fasten the seatbelt.
Yeah. And that's a big swing. That's a lot to endure. So just remember what she said, that many spiritual, right? What did she call it? That they went through a lot of this kind of thing too, right? They've experienced this. They've done this, many of them. And you read about that. They've gone through great pain, and they've gone through, great joy. And that is just part, right? That's part of it. And this is particularly concerning for you. It is a bit of a spiral, because as it occurs and you are concerned about it, and you say, I'm not doing something right, something's going on here with me, I'm not vibing high enough, or whatever it is, then that creates a little more of that roughness and more need for that outburst, that irritation, that stuff to occur. So it's a little self-fulfilling prophecy, right? But knowing what they're saying now, she's saying now you can, right, breathe through, laugh, and know that it may be a part of your experience, because it's just how you, as you let more light in, develop more spiritual gifts, do this stuff, these things that have to get out, that's your way. And she's laughing. You could be someone that has to throw up all the time, right? That happens, right? There's people that, right, horrible headaches, different things. And this is what you have, and this is funny, and you can talk about it. It's part of your creativity. It fits right in with you. So don't sweat it, right? Other people have other things, and this just happens to be yours. Okay.
And a few years ago, I was going through this phase where I would be driving my car, and I would be overcome with just such tiredness that I would almost have to pull off to the shoulder, because in 5 seconds I could have just, it was intense.
Yeah.
And I've never, like people back then, I always envied people who could sleep on airplanes or something like that. I never was that way. And then I went through a phase where I would be doing something like driving a car, and it would just come upon me in seconds. And again, I knew it was something to do with growth and this and that, but I had to be really careful.
Yeah. That's
Um,
wild. Yeah. Well, I had that too. I remember being, having days of just being so tired I could hardly move and not understanding it. And Astrid channeled for me one day, and it said, that it was part of this, right? So I don't know that I remember driving, but I do remember just being so tired I could hardly get anything done. So
yeah.
okay. All right. So all right, she's talking about the orbs. This is Layla. We still got all three of them here. Your new one that showed up, and Layla, and so the new one, Johan, is like in your space right now for this particular, like this alchemy period. So the other ones are always with you. This one you just asked in for this particular thing. Interesting. Okay, but anyway, Layla's talking about the orbs that we were talking about when we first started. Okay. Okay. So she says, the universe, source, her, your other spirit guides, your transition loved ones, they listen to every thought and feeling, everything that's going on with you. When you intentionally speak, okay, this is part of what I think your mother and grandmothers were bringing in here. When you intentionally speak and ask for guidance, to help you with an issue, to just have a conversation, know that it works and quickly. But sometimes you ask for help without being aware that you're doing it. I think this is all of us, either being concerned about an issue or just pondering some concept or question. Doesn't have to be an issue. There are always orbs of light around you. I guess she's doing this because we were talking about it when we first started. And this is them. And orbs in general are just energies, spiritual beings that have great love for you. They contain information and energy that helps answer questions, worries, through that infinite intelligence. Okay. Wow. This is interesting. I've never had a discussion really about this, about orbs in this way. So the orbs are around. The information might come to you through song, a phrase that you read or hear, a feeling that you get, some kind of symbol, some kind of color, something that just trips you and unlocks your awareness, in the really like deep in your heart, your body, your mind. They're always around, but they are more concentrated form, in both like quantity and their quality, their sturdiness in certain places at certain times, primarily when your energy is in a particularly sort of soft and kind of receptive sort of place, really high frequency state. So they naturally gravitate toward high energy. So it doesn't mean being on the go energy. It's in your case, also in mine, created when we're very still. by just raising our frequency. So you're just raising your frequency. And in your meditations, you're constantly placing yourself in a state where these orbs of light are really attracted to you. So where you see them on my screen and they come up, what she's saying is there are oftentimes when they're all around you, and it's just for you to see them and recognize them here so that they could use it to tell you that they're all around you. They do, you can catch it in photographs. You can take pictures and catch it. She's saying there's often the only way to see them is on a camera. If you enhance them, you can see faces and symbols in them. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay. So the switching things up for you, more time in nature if you're not spending a lot. More time resting if you're on the go a lot. If you meditate at this point, meditate at that point. If you usually meditate for 2 hours, meditate for 20 minutes. Just start juggling up your routine of things in any way you see fit. And this is another way you can, and just start to be aware of the orbs. I think they must be, really around you at certain times. So just pay attention and know they're there. Perhaps try to catch them in some photographs. That's pretty interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I know, really cool. All right, so now your grandmothers seem to be moving a little forwards. Let's see, your mother's there, grandmothers. Boy, they come from a different spot for me. And I can't pull them apart very, very well. It seems to be more collective. All right. They're saying you're still a bit hiding. You're creative and energetic, and you are willing to put your products out there, but there's still more of the real inner you that has not come out from behind the veil. That's also a part of the irritation. This is your grandmother's and your mom. Trust your intuition and your own sense of things. Sometimes what you sense will be love, and you can open your heart and move easily toward that source, whether it's in the form of, a project, another person, whatever it is, or, something that you just care about. But sometimes what you sense will be a bit more challenging, and it's going to ask something different of you. And this is where they're coming in to be there with you. You will sense that there's something you are inspired to break through, something missing, something. They're not going to give me a specific, and maybe there isn't one, I don't know. But in it, you will sense some fear or even sort of sabotage kind of lurking in it. And they're here to help you with that, to learn to trust yourself, to understand what this discernment is. Is it just this fear to continue to hide? And when you discover that most of the time it is, I think is what they're saying, you can call on them to help you move forward. They are saying it's like there's a part of you that is still very, very shadowed and not out from behind a veil to where you just can fully be. And this light coming in, these new gifts coming in, all of these things are in pretty direct conflict with uh, something that is hidden, right? Something, right? Something, and we all do it, right? We all have it. It's just right now, this is what's pointing it for you. It's why you're asking the question about the irritation. You're feeling that. Okay. So it'll start to be revealed what it is. Could be something you think that you want to do, but oh no, or something, you feel is missing some, I don't know. It's just something, but because of that, identity or that fear, there's parts of ourselves that just, it's harder to bring them out. Now, who knows why. I know I've been through this 3 or 4 times with different things, and it's like, oh, okay, but you never know.
Yeah.
It's always kept. Okay. Your grandmother's, okay, they have a, what is this they're saying? Like a sentence for you. You know what you're doing, they say. You know what you're doing. You have enough wisdom, intuition, wisdom to place yourself even more fully into the world. To be, oh man, there's that from that last one, like even bolder. And even though sometimes you think you have no clue what is happening in your life in the big picture, right? What the hell is happening? And that's okay. You have enough wisdom, you have enough intuition to be even more fully yourself in the world. And your grandmothers and your mother, that's their role, to support you, to help you, to guide you. It's in like some perhaps leaps of faith, doing some things a little differently, in personal life, creative endeavors, whatever it is, more you. Okay. That's cool, right? That's a little sort of. Okay. So they're giving you something they want you to do. All right. They're going to show me. Every morning, when you wake up before you get out of bed, and at night before you fall asleep, both hands on your heart, and you say, I trust in the love of my heart. Both hands on your stomach, and you say, I trust in my instincts. Then hands really low on your belly and say, I trust in the flow of life. That's it. 3 things. Okay, cool.
That is cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's your grandmother's. Okay. Or you get another spirit guide. Perhaps a new one? Let's see. Yeah. It's kind of more seems very 4D, like a fairy, I think. It's very moving about. Hold on. I can't get it. Hold on. Ah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, a fairy. Huh. Relatively new to you, recent, like say the last 4 or 5 years with you. What's your name? M-A-S, no, Maisey. Maisie. So fairies don't typically like attach to a human necessarily. I have a couple, but I didn't know that, but she's saying not necessarily. She's always with you now. Um, okay. Like I've been explaining this before, like sort of in front of you, cleaning up like the trash in front of you, just clearing your path a little bit, um, lighting the way. Like she's saying, lighting the way, helping you to continue to reach for the stars, um, and helping you to, again, with your grandmothers and your mother, the trust in yourself and what you're hearing. Okay. She's, wow. She also helps you to, when you need to look at like a situation in your life, perhaps you have a choice to make. Um, so what she's showing me is that she's got ribbon, like it's just moving around and around and around and around and around her. And it looks like she would be bound up, but the bindings aren't secure. They're just flowing and moving. She can come out of these at any time, right? This is not how she showed up originally, but she's just doing this now. So she's with you and she's wanting you to look deeper at things that are happening in your life. And are you seeing all of the different sides? Perhaps you are feeling restricted when all you have to do is make the choice to be free. Yeah, so I don't know if that resonates with you, but that's what she's saying.
Oh,
Um, hmm.
that's a beautiful image of loosening the binds that.
Yeah, they're just moving around her. It looks like at first like she's completely tied up
Yeah,
in these, but she's not at all. They're just
fun.
blowing around,
Yeah.
and all she has to do is do this, and they're off. So she's sometimes, and we all do this, certainly, but she's here for you. There are still these limiting beliefs and almost outdated thinking patterns that have yet to fully surface for you, but they're there, they're habitual, and she is pointing them out, but they are again a reason for some of this conflict and irritation. So she is encouraging you to look deeper at every situation, the surface ones, and then as they start to reveal themselves, look deeper and see if you are seeing all sides and recognize when you feel restricted, and it is just your choice to simply be free. And this is, causing some of that. Wow, that was pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So she also has got another stone for you, and so does Layla. Okay, they both do. Layla. So these stones for you, energetic. You got alabaster once, right?
From Layla, yeah.
Yeah. So now your fairy has got alabaster, but it's green alabaster. You ever heard of that?
I haven't. That, but I'm
green alabaster is a stone for you. It's like chakras 4 and 7. So it's like heart, right? Yeah. Heart, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Heart and crown. So if you can get your hands on that, again, carry it with you, meditating. And Layla's got tiger's eye. That's another one. Tiger's eye has to do, okay, she's doing this. All right, I see. It's like with your grandmothers. It is your grandmothers and your mother. It is connecting with your roots so that you can heal. It's also connecting with the root chakra. It's a stone that encourages grounding. She's feeding me. I don't know all this. and connecting with your roots, both in an ancestral way and in nature. So you can connect with them in meditation with the tiger's eye, your grandmother's and your mother, and in the dream world. So to keep the tiger's eye with you again, carry it around when you meditate, when you sleep, put them right by you. So, okay, it's like it's going to start to bring up any work around some of those ancestral wounds. And there are those that you are working on. I find that with a lot of us. There are things that you're healing that you're unaware of. So that's kind of cool. So your grandmothers and your mother, okay, they're kind of wrapping up, but this is interesting. They've sort of, it's almost like they turned into this, but I can still sense them, but they just push this forwards. This is wild. I've never seen this before. Like three white, I thought dogs, but they're wolves. And what they're saying is like, this is one of the last, I think, things. Everybody seems to be backing away a little bit, but a wolf, there's three of them, and they're your family here. A wolf is very content and comfortable and a natural leader and totally capable of surviving on its own, but chooses to be in a pack. There's a special kind of connection that comes with your family, with that kinship, but also friends, partners. It is what they're saying is you are supported. And this idea of camaraderie keeps coming up and coming up. Were you on that call? This is a lot for you. I think you were one of those people maybe that this was coming up for. The wolf is the embodiment of what it means to stay connected to family, to friends, to a life partner, just the people that love and care for you. So it is for you to know you are truly never alone, and to understand how, I think, especially going forward, to really focus on this pack, on this camaraderie in any way that you feel inspired to do. Okay. We're quiet.
Cool. Yeah, a couple of your calls that we've been on together have mentioned that, and I felt that I was one of the people that was involved in that. Probably not the only one, but I could feel.
Well, there were a handful. I couldn't tell how many. It wasn't everyone that it was directed to, but what they were saying was like, there's a few, right? So we've got all these rocks here. There's a few. So I'm going to say out of the 15 or 20, I'm going to say 4, 3, 4 of you that was really directed at. Now I really think so. I had no idea then, but now I think that was definitely for you, partly. How do you feel?
Good. This is so much. And one of the fun things that I love to do after these readings is look up things. Like I'll look up the guide. What was it? Johann Daniel. I have a feeling I'll find out who that is, and it'll be kind of important.
Yeah, because I never could get the last name. I wasn't getting it right. I wasn't getting it clearly, and that happens. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah,
it's more often than it doesn't happen.
For some reason, I'm thinking it's Mylius, like Myliu. We'll see.
Do you know who that is?
I don't. But I have a feeling that I'll find.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, how do you know the name Mylius?
As you were talking, I was just playing around on my on my phone, and that was one of the things that popped up. And
Okay.
I didn't want to distract myself from what you were saying, so the last couple of readings we did, I had such fun afterwards, hours
Okay.
looking things up, and you remember the videos I made, and
I know, it's so
I had
fun.
such a good time, and that's what I'll do this time. And
Okay.
I may turn
Awesome.
up things that are totally surprising, and I may turn up this, which I have a hunch about.
Yeah. Interesting, because what was he was the Sharo, right? Saying that
Yes,
words like, which is like alchemy. It was the whole start of the pearl and the alchemy was, yeah,
yeah.
that's how it all started to
And
unfold. Okay.
he was the first one who said to alchemize the irritation
Yeah.
uh, into a pearl.
Yeah.
Um, and that reminded me that I have over the last year or half year felt that it's not anger, but it's irritation.
That's so funny the way that stuff shows up. Like, of course.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course. Yeah. Well, good. All right. So you feel good. Well, let me know. I know you will.
I feel
What
good.
comes
It's been
up if
wonderful again.
I wish I could have gotten the name, but it seemed like it was like 1500s to
Yeah,
16 something. I
yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't really get years, but it was like 15 something, 16
I have a
something.
feeling I'll find out exactly who that is,
Okay.
and
I hope so.
it'll be part of the game, part of the
Yeah, right.
fun
That'll be really fun. Okay.
of
Well,
doing
let me
it.
know.
And yeah.
Let me know. And then
So,
you got a new one too. Yeah, he was new, and you have a fairy that's like kind of
maybe.
rides right on your right shoulder.
Oh, she hovers around the.
And hovers around and goes in front of you and clears up the trash and the psychic bullshit, and hangs with you. So, and her name is
That's so cool.
Maisie. She was the one showing me the ribbons tied up
Yeah,
and saying
that's
all
a
that stuff.
beautiful
So
image too.
yeah, she was really cool.
Yeah,
So
loosening up all those ties that bind you. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and make them playful and fun. Just
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
and
I mean, how can you like you got a fairy image, like, okay, that's
yeah.
like, yeah, you can't not have fun with that. Perfect. Awesome.
Well, thanks so much. This was wonderful again. I'll be seeing you again very soon.
Soon, yeah.
I'm flying down Sunday
Uh-huh.
to Orlando, and then I'm gonna take my little rental down to Fort Lauderdale for 4 days, and then pop back up to Kissimmee to see you
Okay.
guys. It's gonna be
Awesome.
wonderful.
Can't wait. So we'll see you on Thursday, the 13th.
Yes, indeed.
All right, honey. All right. I love you.
Love
Have
you
a great
back.
trip, and I'll see you very, very soon.
Thanks so much. Thanks for
Bye.
everything. Love you. Bye
Love
now.
you.